Going on? Operation is locked. Rotate back. What's going on, everybody? It is I. I am your mediator for today. I am here to give you information that was given to me by Gabriel once again. This is some information that he wants to make sure everybody understands, so that you will understand him and who he is, as well as who they are. And by that I mean the others. Okay. He wanted to touch on some things that he feels very strongly about. Tonight we are going to talk about the dark ones. We got here same as earlier. No stuff. No stuff? Not sure what you mean by that, but anyway. And when I say the dark ones, I mean the ones that we call the bad aliens, with the abductions and all the other stuff, the probing and all that. That's what he wants to talk about them. Now, the number one rule that they were supposed to follow is that children are off limits. They are supposed to be off limits. And like I said, this is mainly about the dark ones. Because, see, children, they don't understand their actions. So I guess for them, that makes them easy prey. But it's still wrong to do that. Now, also, let's see. Oh yeah, and this is a solemn promise by him and the others that they will be dealt with. And that is a promise. He said that very clearly. He also said that they have the ability to influence people. Now, however you would look at it as influence, you would have to look at what's good. What's good is we're going to be talking about the others tonight. And I'm talking about the bad aliens. This is a message that I'm getting from Gabriel, just for the ones that's coming in. Just so you know, I got another message for Gabriel that he wants me to share with all of you, and we are going to be talking about the others. What we call as humans the bad aliens. Okay, but he calls them the dark ones. So now, getting back to what I was saying before, they can influence you. They also can get in your head. And when I say that, I mean how they take your memories away. They put thoughts in your head. They can they create a type of reality in your mind so that you can see what they want you to see. Ask Gabriel about Bigfoot. Okay. Bigfoot is a creature from another level. Okay? Now, I believe I mentioned this on my video about how they are not aliens, but are from another level. And so is Bigfoot. Okay? Now, the story is he was brought here. How you doing, Michael Bird? Good afternoon to you, too. This is more like, well, for me, it's more like good night, but, But yeah, so they are from another level, which is the reason why a lot of the ones that have seen Bigfoot can't seem to basically find them after that because they're very good at hiding. This is what they say about them. But what it is, they can slip in and out of these levels. They have that ability because a lot of the creatures that we talk about have a type of human intelligence, which is why you see how they can thrive out in the wilderness the way they do. They can build houses. Now, most people would think only a human knew how to do that, but they do it because they have a human intelligence. So, whatever it is, any person who wants to know about Bigfoot, that's one of the main things. They are from another level. Okay. So, also, Gabriel, this is something I definitely want to touch on because Gabriel gave me the opportunity to experience an ability that all of them have because they are all energy beings. So they all have that ability. It is an ability of suppression. Now, the dark ones, they abuse that ability by when you can't move from your neck down to your feet, and next thing you know, you see them coming and all that stuff. What it's really used for is like therapy, okay, to like calm you down, okay, and to hold you back. Let's just say you get angry and you want to fight somebody. You're taking out that frustration on that person. They can use that ability to hold you back to keep you from either getting yourself killed or hurt or hurting them or killing them. Now, you see, it can also help you. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong spot. I kind of lost my place. Okay. Now this right here. This is perfect. This is very important. Now, this is something that actually happens to the missing 411 people. Think about it. Let's just say a military man goes out into the woods for a hike. He never comes back. And let's just say he's one of the most skilled fighters that you know. But he's not there anymore. He's gone. Somehow taken some way. You would think that he could defend himself and then run away. But if they can suppress you to where you can't even move, even the strongest and most skilled person in fighting, that's pretty powerful. Now, I want to get back to what I was actually trying to say before when I first started talking about this. I'll open this thing up, from the side, and now I can't get it to go straight. Hold on, let me see. Nope. But anyway, Gabriel actually demonstrated that. He literally, I was sitting right about there. And I was talking to his mate. All of a sudden, my body felt numb at first. And then, after that, I just felt like I couldn't move an inch, no matter what I did. It was like something was keeping me from actually being able to move. It wasn't like I was being suppressed. I mean, I was being suppressed, but it wasn't like. All I know is I could not move at all. Okay? And I had my legs like kind of crossed at the ankle, and it was just like I literally could not move. I couldn't break myself from it. I couldn't do none of that. It was the strangest thing. You need a selfie stick. Yeah, I know. I actually have one, but I can't find it. Yeah, it gets kind of annoying when you gotta hold it like that, and it would be a lot better. I'm trying to find a vantage point where I can actually set it down, but I can't. But like I said, it was a weird feeling, and I literally, like I said, I couldn't move, but he was demonstrating that to me so that I'll know what that's like. For whatever that reason, I don't know, but he showed it to me, and it was definitely weird. So like I said, that probably happens to a lot of the people that get taken. There is a way to break it. Well, if there is, I would have to talk to Gabriel about that because I honestly don't know. So, but yeah, I would hope there is. Okay. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, and the whole portal thing. Not all. Who is Gabriel? Gabriel is the guardian angel of a friend of mine. And he's been a topic of my videos for the past couple of days. I wanted to talk to you about the whole portal thing. Not all people who disappear in that manner are dead. And it's because of the portals. Okay? Now, I want to get on the subject of Stacey Harris. Stacey Harris is a very famous case. Very famous. That's one of the very first cases that David Paulides talked about. Okay? Stacey Harris, let's think about it. Let's just go back to how the whole thing started. She was going into a place called Sunrise Camp with her father and a bunch of people that was in a group with them. There was an older man who was a part of the story that I'll get to in a minute. They went to the campsite. They got, freshened up, and she wanted to go out, with a camera. And he said, okay. So he said, does the lady who survived feel she went through a portal? Let me see. Something is hitting your mic and causing a loud sound. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's hard to hear you. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. That was my fault. My hand was on near the mic. She's fine. First of all, and she does feel like she went through a portal because she got sent to another dimension that looked exactly like the one she just came from. So it's almost like walking into a room that's domed with that same environment around it. And that's the reason why she was hearing all the things she was hearing, like people talking. She didn't realize it at first, but her voice sounded like she was enclosed in a room. She didn't sound like she was in the wilderness. And you can literally hear that. It doesn't sound like her voice is just carrying out in all directions. So she was definitely in some kind of a dome or some kind of a room or like a holodeck, if you want to say it like that. Yeah, a holodeck. And she actually did a comparison at home. She took her dogs out for a walk, and she sounded like she was outside. So she put two and two together. I agree. She had a lot of echo when she talked. Yeah, exactly. So she was very surprised because she didn't even realize it. Because when it first happened, she heard a loud boom, and that's what happens when a portal opens up. Because that's where that term punching a hole through space and time comes from. That's what it sounds like. So she had, when I told her about it, she went back, and like I said, she did a comparison and realized that it was actually true. So like I said, when she heard that loud boom, that's when it happened. But when she heard the loud boom, she looked behind her to see what that was, and there was nobody there. And she looked back towards her friends, they were gone. And her friend said that he looked back and didn't see you either. So it wasn't them that disappeared, it was her. She the one that vanished. And it was just that simple and just that quick. That's how all that stuff happens. You literally get pulled into a dimensional portal. Now here's the crazy part. For some reason, nobody else hears it, but the person that is happening to. Think about it. Just like Christopher Tompkins when he disappeared. Nobody heard him when it happened. They were right in front of him. They weren't that far. They would have heard something. They would have heard him being dragged away, just like with Dio Coons. They didn't hear none of that. Yet they found a boot dangling from a barbed wire fence. How'd that get up there? It's almost like he got pulled into it, and his shoe just came off in the process as he got sucked into the wormhole. I'm just saying. So, getting back to her, sorry I got off track, but getting back to Stacey Harris, she goes out, and there's this area that has a boulder field, and there's a lake in that same area and a line of trees that surround it. She wanted to take her camera and go down in that area and start taking some pictures. So this elderly man, I think he was around 80 years old, he went with her. They got halfway up the embankment. Okay, that is strange that her friends didn't hear that crashing. Yeah, exactly. I said the same thing, but they never heard it. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So back to Stacey Harris. She walks down this little path in between the boulder field. He decides to stay behind, so he's sitting on this big boulder. She goes down, she goes around, I guess, around the lake, starts taking pictures, and at some point disappeared between a line of trees. She was never seen again. Okay? A large search ensued. They went out there to find her. And all they found was her lens cap. Now, we're going to get deeper with this one. Now, I received this information from Gabriel himself. Okay? He says that she saw something and took a picture of it. Now, obviously, whatever she saw, let me see, have you ever studied David Paulides? He does a lot. Of course. What made you? That's what got me into this in the first place. He wasn't the one that started. He fascinated me about with the cases, and that caused me to go into my own channel because the case that I studied, which is the Madison Scott case, that's what got me into it. That was the passion that drove me to doing this. Thank you very much. Okay, now getting back to Stacey Harris. She saw something that obviously was damaging enough for whoever took that camera. Okay, did Stacey take a picture of something she shouldn't have? Yes, I strongly believe that. She took a picture of something that they didn't want her to either see or find or even have proof of. Now, the fact that they only found the lens cap, but not her or the camera, would make sense because look at it. The Park Service don't want you knowing nothing about what's going on in that national park. Especially if somebody is disappearing and not coming back. Maybe she actually saw a portal open up and she took a picture of it. Or maybe she saw what is eating people and leaving nothing behind but a small bone or the top of your cranium. Whatever it was, it obviously was crucial enough for you to leave behind just the lens cap. How is it that the whole person gets left behind, gets taken, but the camera don't stay behind? Why would that be of any importance to you? Think about it. Why would a camera be just as important as taking somebody? Is she underground or in another realm? She's on a parallel Earth. That much I do know. She's on a parallel Earth. Now, my question would be is that why they wouldn't give David the file? Yes, that is exactly the reason why. Because they know something, okay? So if somebody took a picture of the proof of what they actually know that they don't want you to know about, that's the reason why that camera ain't nowhere to be found. Think about it. You can't never even talk to anyone from the office. Just like that situation that David Pilates had with that park ranger. And the what was that guy's name? Ah, jeez. He got like a long beard. I talked about him on my channel. I can't. It's like I'm having a brain fart right now. Jeez. But anyway, one of the guys that I talked about. Grizz. Not Grizz. No, it was he was a guy that went missing. He was a part of that search, I think. But I talked to the guy who I talked about on my channel's wife and all that stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. But okay, I don't want to lose my train of thought here. The fact is, like I said, when he had a problem with the Park Service then when he was talking to them, and they belittled them. They act like they didn't matter. And they told the park ranger after he already said that he was going to talk to him. They said, don't say nothing to him. And he comes back, goes his head down, won't say nothing. Now, the family of those people, of the guy I talked about, they treated them like crap. They wouldn't talk to them. They wouldn't give them any information. They made them look like they were stupid. They just treated them like they didn't matter. They're trying to find out what happened to their father and husband, but you want to sit up there and act like they don't matter. So he had that problem with them, and he had the problem with the Stacey Harris case because they would not let him get the file. The guy he was talking to was all nasty, saying that you'll never see it, And he said, why? He said, it's none of your business, but you'll never see it. Yeah, he was just like straight up just nasty. That motherfucker. I would say that motherfucker was crazy. That's what I would say. But anyway, so that leads you to believe that something ain't right. And it almost makes me believe that they threw her in that portal on purpose. If there was one that opened up, maybe they knew where one was. And it opened up and they pushed her into it. And then took her camera. And even if, here's another thing. What could probably have happened? She got pulled into that portal, causing her to drop the camera. Let's just say the camera didn't go with her. Like I said, that camera fell out of her hand and they picked it up, saw what was on it. Oh, we can't let this get out from nobody. So that's another scenario. But yeah, that's some crazy stuff like about that. Okay, but like I said, not all people are dead who disappear in those national parks. That's one of the main reasons. Now, I wanted to talk about a certain person, but I had to really think about it. And that is the Madison Scott case. No matter what my views are on how she disappeared, something in my heart of hearts tells me that, because I already said I would never put her in that category because the family's still looking for her to this day. So I'm not going to do that. I almost felt like I could, but Gabriel told me that to follow my instincts. And like I thought about a lot of scenarios, and it would all lead back to what I said. Okay, so I'm not going to mention her at all, you know. Now, he also wanted me to tell you guys is to be aware of their existence. He wants to prepare you for that. Oh, I won't. He wants everyone to be aware of their existence because we have no knowledge of their existence. And that's why he is here, making sure that I give you all of these messages from him, personally. Okay. Now, let me see. Oh, here's another thing that's very important, too. If you don't know about them, you can't defend yourselves against them. So, for the ones that say that there is a way to break that hold on you, if you don't know anything about them, you cannot fight fight against them. So, let's just say they do that to the point where you can't move at all. Now, there's one person said that it can be broken. But if you don't know anything about them, you can't fight against them. So you have to know something about what they can do in order for you to determine if you can break it or not. It's not that simple. Okay? Some things are, but that ain't one of them. It's not that simple. Okay. Let me see. It's a battle of wills. Well, considering the type of abilities they have as far as suppressing a person, I can't say that will can break a hold like that. See, maybe calling on your own guardian if you feel something isn't right. Okay, exactly. The will will come from you calling on your guardian. That's what he's there for, or she is there for. They are there to help you. They are there to keep you alive if you are supposed to live. Okay? So that will be the will part. So I take it back. You're right. In a way. Okay? The will come from the fact that you know you have a guardian. And then you call upon your guardian angel. And he comes to save you. So yes, you were right. You know, that's part of it. But you were right still. So good job. All right. He also, let me see. Why do some get to live and others not? Hold on one second. All right. Let me see. Good question. Yeah, why do some live and others have to die? Okay, that's a tough one. First of all, I think it just depends on the situation. The ones that get to live are the ones that are being abducted by the ones who actually are not there to harm you. Because remember, I was talking about the dark ones. And then there are the light ones. The ones that aren't like that. Because there are different kinds. The dark ones, and then there's the ones that aren't there to harm you. So those are the ones that get to live. The ones that actually die are the ones who are being abducted by the dark ones. The ones, you see, finally somebody says the truth. Thank you. Thank you. That's like I said, that's what I'm here for. See, you got to be able to break it down. You don't want to just make it one single category. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why these things happen. And if you look at the fact that you have your good beings and you have your dark ones, the dark ones don't care nothing about you. They will soon eat you alive, literally, than to let you live. So that would be the ones that actually die. Now, like I said, the ones that live are the ones that are abducted by the others. Well, not the others, but like, the good ones, the good beings. Okay? They obviously have you for a reason. It just depends on what that reason is. Maybe if you still lose your memory, if they still take your memory of that moment, it's because you're not supposed to know what they said to you or did to you until that moment comes. That's what that would be. That's what I would think that would be the reason why they all lose that memory of that moment. But for the ones that come back and live, that's the reason why. They have a story to tell, and they want you to tell it. Now, he also wanted me to stress that he does not want to scare you. He just wants you to express your feelings. Don't bottle them up. Or else, now this is what I put, this is not what he said. Or else you'll become alien food. Because remember, I talked about that earlier. When Derek Tyler was talking about, he found a pool of blood with human body parts in it. So some portals take you to areas in another dimension that are good and some is bad. Let me see. I have a question. Okay. Hold on one second. The second one, the one that came in about the question about demons and aliens and all that stuff. Let me get to her first. Unless you know how to manipulate the wormhole. Not saying that those beings know how to get from one dimension or one parallel Earth to another. Because they probably do, but I don't think they go to the same ones every single time. They can't go back and forth. Like, say, if I live, let's just say I live here, but the other place that I want to go to is at the end of this couch. I can't just go back and forth. These portals open up in different areas all the time, so there's no way to tell which one is good and which one is bad. Now, if you go to one and you know about it and you spread the word about that particular place, that's one thing. They have the knowledge of that place. But there's no true good and bad dimension. You have your levels where these different creatures come from, and them places may be inhabited by humans. But it just depends on how everything works out on that. Just like how you can go to a place where the way of life is different, the atmosphere is different, there's hardly that much crime. But on this other side, just like how things are bad in different areas, you got your hood and you got the suburbs. It's kind of like that. Okay, so your good and bad dimensions, I honestly don't know. I really don't. But it's based on not so much that. You can't really call it a good or a bad place because that place is always going to be as different as this place. It may look bad to us, but it's a good place for them. It may be paradise for them, but it may not be paradise for us. So you can't really look at it like that. So That's my interpretation on that. But yeah, like he said, he wants you to express your feelings. Don't bottle them up or you'll become alien food. So, because like I told you before, they feed off of negative energy. And if you bottle all of this negative energy up and you're not doing anything to let it out, like some people enjoy fishing as a good stress relief. Some people enjoy sex. Then you have the ones that may want to box their troubles away, or jog their troubles away, swim their troubles away. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing something to release all of that pent up emotion and stress and those pent up feelings. You are going to be a breeding ground for these beings. They will pounce on you, and you'll end up just like Jerry Adadero. Not saying that's what happened with him, but that's what it entails. Okay, so I'm just saying. Not saying that he was like that. He was a child, but I'm just saying the fact that a being of that nature could actually devour or just eat a human makes you wonder about all that. I mean, wow, we're at the bottom of the food chain. He's at the top. So that's the main thing about that. But like I said, this whole discussion was mainly about the darkness. He really wanted to stress that and get that out there. But yeah, just make sure when you do that, do what you can to release that stress. I don't care what it is, sex, jogging. You may want to play basketball, baseball, do something. Or just take a walk, meditate, do something to release whatever energy you got inside you. Let's say you may have had a bad day at work or you work at a crappy job, but you can't find another one. That can be very stressful. Trust me, I know, I've been there. I'm happy with the job that I have now, but I didn't always have good jobs. And the ones I had to stomach because I had to get paid, I didn't have time to look for another job. So I had to deal with that and wait for another opportunity. But the fact that I was still doing things to not have me feeling so just like clogged up with all this animosity and all this negative energy, you gotta release it. So therefore, if you do that, you won't be alien food. I'm just saying, it's just that simple. So, but anyway, guys, if you have any more questions, let me know. Bring them in. Now about the demon, the whole the whole demon and all that stuff. Let me see. The Indians say you are chosen if you see Bigfoot. It's supposed to be a special thing. Well, I'm not an expert on the whole Bigfoot thing, but I'll try to do my best. Thanks. I appreciate that. I try to do a good job. Yeah. Let me see. Oh. Can you do me a favor? Can you repeat that for me, please? My mind is like brimming over with a lot of stuff that I got to do, and it's coming in kind of fast. Gabriel, he's helping me out. Let me see. You were going to say something about demons and angels. Oh yeah, demons and angels. I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, demons and angels. First of all, it's like I said before. They have been called many names. Angels. And what you don't understand, you start calling them demons. If they don't look like what you would expect them to look like, they're a demon. There's that label, that category that you put them in. They are just energy beings, or beings of energy. Okay, so we already established the fact that they are the dark ones, and then there's the others. like, and then it's Gabriel and Peter. Okay, those would be considered your ones that you give labels to. You like your angels, your guardian angels. They are just beings of energy. Let me see. What about aliens? Where do you think they fit into it? No. Aliens, like I said before in my video, they come from a different level. You can't really call them aliens because they're not aliens. They are just a different type of being. Okay? Gabriel and Peter, they're beings of light as well. Beings of energy, just like the others. And then the ones who we look at as aliens, they're just beings from other levels within Earth. Dimensional beings. Because exactly. Dimensional beings because, thank you very much. I have said that in my videos before about dimensional beings. How they can actually come from their dimension to ours through some type of dimensional travel. So if you're a dimensional being, you have the ability to travel dimensionally from one dimension to another. You open up a doorway between your dimension and ours. When you come through, it looks like you're just walking into a room, but they're actually walking from their dimension to ours. And in between that, so you don't think that they come from different planets. There are different planets with life on them. And they do come here. But, let's see, what about worshiping God of energy? You believe in that. It's not about worshiping them. Like I said, if you listen to my video, you will understand what he said, which he clearly made a point. They want to be respected, not worshipped. This is not about worship. Okay, I'm not even going to get into the whole creator part. Because he doesn't want to be worshipped either. He wants to be loved. That's what I'll say. I'll put it like that. The creator wants to be loved, not worshipped. Okay? It's not like putting him on a pedestal. Yes, he is the creator of all things. But he gave us individuality and free will to do as we please. Okay? It's not about worshiping somebody that gave us that ability. Yes, we thank him for doing that, for giving us life, but he also gave us the ability to do things our way, with free will. Okay? You shouldn't have to worship someone that gave you that ability. Why? You have the choice to not worship someone. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize that they have the choice not to worship someone. That's not a bad thing. They don't want to be worshipped. They're not here to be worshipped. They're here to be respected. Just like I mentioned in my video. He is our Father. You wouldn't worship your Father. You would love and admire him. Not worship him. Exactly. You got to realize that the Creator is our Father. Now, the Father that we have here on earth, do you worship this Father? Do you worship this? Do you worship your actual father, your birth father? Okay, then. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't worship my father. I admire him. I look up to him. I wanted to be like him when I was little, just like any son would. But I don't worship him. Why would I do that? I love my father. My father's passed, but I love my father. I respect him. I admire him. I look up to him. But nowhere in there would you ever say, I worship my father. So, the same thing applies for, I do not worship any human beings. None are worthy. None are worthy. Yeah, exactly. That's not what this is about. Okay? So, I hope that answers your question about that one. But, A lot of this information is crucial. He wanted to make sure everybody knew about that because when they return, definitely need to tell you my story. Well, all you gotta do is send me your phone number. Email me at meckdee@comcast.net. I would love to hear your story. Send me your number and I will make a time to call you because there's somebody else I need to call too. But yeah, just do that and I will definitely get with you on that on the interview if you want to. And like I said, if you want it to be anonymous, it'll be anonymous. All right. Okay, got that covered. Cool. But yeah, let me see. You said before that Gabriel is very large. Exactly how large is he? Oh, that man is huge. Okay? Like I said, I believe last night on my live broadcast, he cleared the street lights. And he's very wide. Not like fat wide, but he's broad. I'll put it like that. He's very broad. Okay? Now, Gabriel has told me that this is a physical plane. So he does have a physical form. But, let me see. I was just asking because I believe in our Father in heaven. I understand that. And we'll get back to the other part in a minute. See, the thing is, they can be any size they wish to. Yes, they can. They can. Okay, I'm trying to separate all this stuff. But yeah, they can do that. Okay. When you say you was asking that because you believe in all that, I understand that. And see, the Creator is the ultimate energy. Okay, the number one energy. That's where our connection comes from. We are connected to the Creator. Now, see, His energy is so intense, we could never be in front of Him and actually survive because we will be basically destroyed. The source of everything. He is the source of everything. Therefore, the source of all energy, electricity, heat, all of that. If you were to stand in front of the Creator, you would literally be destroyed because your body would not be able to handle the immense power of His energy. That is the reason why He sent the others here for us to be His messenger. He couldn't be here to tell us these things, so He had to send them to become His messengers. That is why we have guardian angels. That's why we have Gabriel and Peter. That's why we have the others. Those voices we hear inside of our heads, that's them telling us the information we need to know. Now, if you realize that and stop thinking that you imagined it, think about it. Were you thinking anything before you heard that voice pop in your head? No, because that's how they communicate. They communicate in that fashion. They will come into your head and they will say something to you that you need to hear. But it'll be like that, out of the blue, within a snap. And you'll be like, whoa, what? You hearing something? You'll be like, okay. Let's just say you was already thinking about it. So you probably thinking about the basketball game you saw earlier that day. And then all of a sudden this voice comes in over top of that. That's how they communicate. So, yeah. But any more questions, guys? Because I am willing to answer any questions you have. I'm sorry if I didn't get to some of them because they was kind of overlapping a little bit and I was trying to focus on what I was trying to say. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. Save the questions in your mind, and when the video is over, if I didn't get to you, just hit me up in the comment section of this video and I will answer it to the best of my abilities. Okay, so I apologize once again. So how long have you had a spiritual awakening to truth? When they get here, I want to say, let me see, thanks for the live show. Oh, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Um, I would say I've always had it, but it wasn't as strong as it is now. And the truth didn't really start coming to me as far as Gabriel until like maybe a couple of months ago. But I've always had that connection with him. But when I actually channeled him, that was actually a couple of weeks ago, really. Sorry to confuse you on subjects, and thank you for answering. Oh, no problem, no problem. You're good. Yeah, this happened a couple of weeks ago because he wanted to prove to his mate that he is real, because she was hearing him in her head too, and sometimes she still has that thing where you start to say, is this really happening? So he wanted to make sure she understood that he was real. So he gave me the ability to channel him. And she heard me talking about certain things that only they knew. I even called her a pet name that only he knew, that only she knew. I didn't know. She never told me that. So that's when the connection with Gabriel started at that point. I always had a connection with him, but not like that, where I could channel him the way she could. So that's when that started. And as far as the other part, what state do you live in? Well, I really don't like to discuss that, for privacy reasons. So I'm gonna just leave that alone. But if I mentioned where I live on my channel, which I think I did, so I apologize for that. I live in Georgia. Okay, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that, but I forgot that I did mention it on my channel what state I live in. So I apologize. That's why I went on ahead and told you. So yeah, no hard feelings. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought here. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. I know you was talking about. You wanted to know about how long. I think there was something else that you asked me after you. I think it was about when did this happen? Oh, and as far as the truth. I'm sorry. Yeah, as far as the truth. This started a couple of days ago because we've always been talking about it, and he told me that it wasn't the right moment. California, here, Georgia is good. Okay, cool. He was always telling me that it wasn't the right moment to reveal the truth, because there's always a right moment for when somebody needs to know something. And he knew what moment that was. And I posted something on Facebook. I think it was on the I'm trying to think what the date. I know I wrote it down in my phone, but I can't remember the exact date. But that was the date when all of this began as far as getting the truth out. There's a big puzzle that I have to solve along with my friend, his mate. And that's part of the cycle. I am in New Brunswick, Canada. Oh, okay, cool. So, you're obviously very familiar with the Madison Scott case. So, yeah. But yeah, that actual date is when it all began. That's when it all began with getting the truth out. Because when I first posted something, okay, cool. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's the reason why I said I know a lot about her case. I didn't want to mention anything about it. I didn't want to put her in that category. I said that in the past. So, how has she handled all this mate stuff? Oh, she's taking it in a stride. She always knew that she was to be with him because she was a part of him. Okay? And, let me see. Okay, this is a lot. I died as a child. I was 7 years old. I was dead for 10 minutes. Sorry, I couldn't get the rest of it. The conversation disappears after a couple of seconds. So, I'll tell you what. At the end of this video, just send me, comment the same information, in the comment section. That way I can read it. So like I said, anybody that I don't get a chance to talk to about something, just hit me up in the comment section. Okay. How she feels about this. She's like I said, she's taking it pretty well because the first time like I said, she always knew they're supposed to be together, and it was a shock at first when she found out that they were going to get married because she's looking at the fact that he's not completely here, but she is. She's solid. So she was wondering how that was going to work, and I believe he did tell her how that was going to work. But when they had the ceremony for their union, he wasn't there. He had it where he resides, along with the rest of his family. So when it actually happened, and he finally came back, well, before he came back, they went ahead to be with her, to protect her, look after her, and also celebrate. So they had a little party at her house as well. So after that, that's when she really realized that she was his mate. They were married. But the fact that she didn't know was the funny part because it was like almost like a surprise. It's like you don't even have to be standing next to them at a podium to get married from where he comes from. Okay? So, yeah, she's taking it well because she understands their connection. Their connection is very strong, very strong. She feels him in a way that no other woman could ever feel a person. Okay? And the fact that he's not completely here, so she could feel his energy, she could feel his emotion, she could feel everything about him because they are a part of each other. Yeah, they are a part of each other. Just like how Adam and Eve became who they were. She was made from his rib. Now, if I'm getting the terminology wrong, because like I said, that was a long time ago when I learned about Adam and Eve. But that's the premise of it. She was made from his rib. Okay, so it's basically the same thing with them. Not in that way, but still, he is a part of her, and she is a part of him. And that makes their bond very strong. So, as the moments pass, she's accepting it. Okay, she knows who they are to each other and what their destiny is to be with each other. Like not so much that they just know their destiny is for each other in every way possible. So that's a good way to put it. It's like yin and yang. You can't have that without the other. And when you look at the dots in the circle, think about it. That's a good representation for that. Because let's see, it's nice somebody found your soulmate. Yeah, exactly. Now, if you look at the symbol of the yin and yang, part of the that one side is in that little circle and vice versa. So that makes it like a connection. They are a part of each other in every way. Part of them is in the other one. Okay, so that's how that works for them. That's how she's able to accept it because she sees how strong their connection is in their bond. So very, very, very strong. And his energy, like I said, is very immense. Not like immense, but it's very strong. That's a better way to put it. Anybody else got any more questions? But anyway, like I said before, with the Madison Scott case, I promised myself that I would never put her in that category, even though, I'm going to be honest with you, I do have my thoughts about how she disappeared, but I don't want to disrespect the parents in that way because they're going through enough. I don't want to have them thinking that, oh, now we're talking about dimensional portals. My little girl is out there somewhere and I want to bring her home. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the one to say that, okay, even though it looks like that, I still can't do it. Are they going to be like giants when they get... Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Yes, they are. Because, like I said, they can, see, she could have been murdered too. Your friends were sketchy. Her friends were sketchy. Yeah, like I said, that's a good point. But yeah, they will be very surprising to people when they get here. Okay, they're gonna be very big. They're not gonna be your average size as far as a human goes. You know, I mean, I know you've seen those pictures on the internet and books of this real tall guy standing next to a bunch of regular sized humans. Okay, and it's like that. Because like I told you, Gabriel cleared the street lights when I saw him walking down the street towards my house. Okay? And when he's in here, he's like practically touching the ceiling. Like last night, he was standing right next to me, and I looked up. I couldn't help but look up, because he was like right there. You know, but yeah, he can get that big. You see, you have a good night. Thank you for your time, love. What are you doing? Okay. Hey, no problem, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I know it's late. I understand that, but I just had to make sure I get this information out there, because he really wanted to make sure that everybody understood everything about him and others just like him, and the negative side of all this, as far as the darkness. But yeah, but they're gonna be big, because when you see them, you're gonna be surprised. Okay, they're not gonna be your average height. Trust me. So yeah, but like they can bring themselves down to a certain size. They don't. I mean, this is a physical plane. Let me see. If he is so large, how will that work with his mate? Is the average size? Okay. Like I said, he can make himself down to a certain size, and he does have a human form, so that means he can bring himself down to that size as well. He may be still a little taller than his mate, but he can still bring himself down to the average size of a human. That's how that will work. He can be tall, very tall, and he can be the size of a human. He manifests to human shell. Well, I won't call it a shell. I won't call it that. Being the fact that he is a being of energy, you can't really say a shell. More like honestly, I don't know what to call that. But I wouldn't call it a shell. That'd be like masking his true self, and it's not even about masking. It's just he was granted a human form to live amongst the other humans. Yeah, you can say a form. Yeah, you can say a form. He bring this more of a self into this reality. Yeah, I guess you could put it like that. But yeah, like I said, it's more like a form that he puts himself in order to be with his mate. Because yes, let me see. I mean, he brings more of his energy into this reality. I just got here. What's going on? Yeah, he does. Oh, what's going on, Matthew? What's going on is I am talking about the real truth. That's what we're doing here. I've been having some deep thought moments at the end of every video, talking about the real truth that I am now able to bring to my fans, my viewers. Okay, I can text you about that other part later, but yeah, that's what we're talking about today. But yeah, like I said, bring his energy into this reality. Exactly. Basically, he's bringing his energy into this reality. But this reality is being tainted by a fake reality. I mean, this reality is the fake reality. So his energy and everything about what is going on, sorry about that, and what's about to happen, he's a part of that. So that energy will change the world and put the balance back. But anyway, yeah, as far as that goes, with her dealing with it and the size and all that stuff, that's how it works. He'll do what he can for his mate. Okay, he'll protect her. He'll bring himself down to her level as far as height. Therefore, they can actually be together. Okay, so that's how she can handle it. Because of course, it's not going to work if he's like 18 feet tall and she's like 5 feet, and that can't work. To me, it can't work. But that's not the case. It's not even a matter of her not being able to cope with it, because he would do whatever it takes to make sure that he can be with her and make sure she's happy. So, yeah, that's how that works. Any more questions, my friends? I say, are there any of their children from the past here? He has told me that they do have lost ones. Let me see. So is he what they call in ancient times a watcher? No. He is exactly what I called him, and that is a being of energy from another level. You don't want to add that category to it, like ancient, or, it's not even a matter of being ancient, because they don't go by time. It doesn't exist where they are, so you would never say the word ancient. So that's the way it is. Jeez, I forgot what I was talking about. Let me see. It's 3 a.m. here. Time to sleep. Oh, and no problem. And up and have a good night. Have a good sleep. All right. Could you repeat what you said before? Let me see. Yes, but in our aspect, it would be ancient, but in theirs, it wouldn't be. Exactly. That's exactly it. Because their perception on that is way different from ours. I know this is kind of off topic, I suppose, but I was watching a video of Travis. Oh, man, Travis. Send me that information. Yeah, email me that information so I can go a little bit more into it, because I couldn't get the rest of it because the conversation disappeared. I'm trying to remember exactly what we were talking about before. I know you mentioned it, but I can't. So much comments coming here. I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. Oh, jeez. Refresh my memory, please. The one with the yin and yang heart in the wings. The Watchers. Elaborate, please. Oh, that's okay. It's not you. It's just that it just disappears a lot. It just disappears within seconds. I can't really read the whole thing. But like I said, send me the information. I would love to look that up just to see what he's all about. So yeah, so you cool, man. You cool. The Watchers. Can you elaborate on that? Like just kind of mention a little bit more about that so I can, get it. They're children. Oh, they're children of the past. Okay. Thank you. They said that they do have lost relatives, and a lot of them live here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was talking to him about that. He said that I was one of them. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to get too deep in that, because there's some other stuff that I need to tell you, but I got to wait a while. But you're talking to one. Oh, really? Okay. Good. Because there's a lot of us out there. Okay? And we all have a reason for being here, and a purpose, and a destiny. Right now, my purpose is to get the truth out there because I am a truth seeker and a knowledge seeker. Okay? That's always been me. So, being in the position that I'm in now with my YouTube channel, I can tell that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's what he told me one time before. I am doing what I am supposed to be doing. So, I am a part of bringing, not so much bringing them back, but bringing the information about who they are to you. That's my job. Okay? He wants to make sure we all understand who he is, who they are, and the difference between them and the dark ones. So that is my goal in all this. So I feel like I am one of them. Because if you say you are and you know you are, then you are. Okay? So, let me see. All the pieces are starting to fit together in a very big way. Exactly. They sure are. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there is a very big puzzle that needs to be solved. And I myself and my friend, his mate, are getting pieces of that puzzle every now and then to put together to solve all of this about pretty much everything. Reality itself, what's going on with these people disappearing in national parks. It's all part of the puzzle. The crazy part about it is the puzzle started all the way back from when we were first born. We were a part of that destiny for that puzzle to be solved. So everything that has happened to us from the time we were born, you see some weird stuff has been going on around the world, including missing for one. Exactly. Yep. It has. It really has. But yeah, everything that happened to all of us who is a part of this puzzle, not just saying me and my friend, but anybody else that's involved. And those people I don't know yet, but I know there's some others out there. I know 2 more people that have the potential that we have. Excuse me. But everything that has happened to us up until this moment, Gabriel did say in his message there had been signs of their return. Exactly. And there's a lot of signs. The signs are the ones that are trying to get that true information out there, the truth out there. I'm part of that. I'm part of that sign of their return. Because getting the truth out there will make it easy for them to come back. Therefore, they can return. It's like opening up a door that has been closed for thousands of years to them and welcome them in. Okay? That's what that's all about. So, like I said before, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Okay? And I'm here to set the record straight about a lot of things. I am. And there's more coming. I got plenty. We just got to be ready for anything at this point. Well, the anything would be the others coming back and setting reality back to the way it should have been. The reality that we have been kept from for thousands of years. They're here, or they're coming here to see. You're exactly right, Matthew. Yep, we sure do. And we have to get ready for their return. Because they're here to reset the balance. Because the balance is way off with control and power and money and all this other bull crap. Once that is taken care of, this will be a better place to live. It'll be a complete reset on reality itself. All of the pieces will be put together. All of the folklore and the stories will become like everyday news for us. You know? That might just be the topic of every news story on TV at that point. Okay, the question is how the resetting will have to go down. Will it harm in the process? No. No. It won't do that. And I wouldn't call it species. They're beings of energy. So it's not a matter of species. It's different. Well, okay, yeah, different species. But anyway, let's see. Will his mate? Okay, hold on a second. Will his mate identity ever be revealed? And does it remain anonymous? It will, because he wants the world to know about his mate and their union together. But it is safer to keep that identity secret until he returns. And possibly until the others get here. Because, let's see, until the right moment. Well, I would rather say the right moment, because there is no such thing as time. And I can get into that a little later, or you can watch one of my videos I talk about that. But yeah, it will be revealed in time. Just right now, it isn't the time. It's, let me see. She needs to stay anonymous, or she'll be hunted by the others. Well, even if she was, Gabriel will be there for her, no matter what. He will make sure that they will never lay a hand on her. So it is true, depending on the severity of the situation. Because think about it, you have the dark ones. I would imagine he's very protective of her. Oh, he's very protective of her. He really is. He really is, because that is his mate. You know, he is a part of her, she is a part of him, and that makes their bond and their connection very strong. And he loves her very much. I mean, all the pet names he has for her, you know, you can tell. And I can tell you right now, he is very romantic. Very romantic. Things that he would say to her would make a person's heart melt. You know? And that is a very huge commodity for any male, being or non-being, to have when it comes to his mate. He's very romantic. I have to admit, because of some of the things that he channeled through me to say to her, I could tell. He's very romantic, you know, and she knows that. She knows that. But he will do anything for her, as well as, you know, let's see, well, being a higher being, all aspects are increased. Exactly. It'll be like being his queen. It'll be just like being his queen, and he would treat her like a queen, you know. So that means he will protect her, not so much at all costs, because they don't do that. They can resolve any conflict without violence. So I can't say at all costs. It's not that simple. It's just the fact, you see, New Kingdom, I wonder. I can't say New Kingdom. It's just a new reality. It's like the old reality dies and the new reality is in its place. Let's see, as a female, I can say she's very lucky to have someone who cares for her that much. Yep, new way of life, moreover. Yeah, that's a better way to put it, new way of life. But it all starts with the reset of reality itself, because the reality we live in was put here by the powers that be. They pumped all this stuff in our heads to have us believing in something that isn't even real. A new beginning. Yeah, it would be a new beginning, basically. The old reality dies and a new beginning begins. Do you think we could be in a matrix? You know what? I've said that, and it does feel like that, but it's more on a, what kind of scale could I put that on? Because it's like that, but it's not. which is kind of hard to explain because it's reality. Reality is an illusion. It's only the moments that carry us through our cycle. Okay? But reality is, let me see, could it be a spiritual matrix? That's a good way to put it, but, oh boy, that's a pretty hard question. I mean, there's so many levels to that. Let me see, more a false reality created by those who want to control us. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's more like a false reality that was put upon us for them to control us. Not as much a computer simulation. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Or is that too deep? No, because see, it's a reality that was put in place for them to have control over us. It's a false reality. That's a even better way to put it. It is a false reality that was put in place, and it all started when I believe it was the Mayflower, but any person that came over from another country, an immigrant, they came over here way back when. Let me see. No, not Michael. I get exactly what you're saying. Right. Let me see. Control because we are deep inside, just like them if we reach enlightenment. You know, I wouldn't even call it enlightenment. I'd call it just learning the truth. I mean, it's a better term because that's what this is all about. Being enlightened is learning the ultimate truth, which is what I'm doing right now. So it feels like that, I guess, if you know the term or the definition of it. But it's really just receiving a true reality. See, our full potential, as Gabriel put it. Exactly. Yeah, our full potential. Yeah, like this. That's what I said in my last video. Let me see. I mean, we are as strong, but we are being sedated. Your first steps in the path that will last for eternity. Yep. I mean, it's pretty much like that because we have a long way to go. So, it's a road. Yeah, mentally sedated. Yeah, exactly. Mentally sedated. You know, and that's exactly what's happening. We're being sedated by our own government because they want us to believe something that isn't even true. They place so many different false truths in our minds with the stuff that we have on TV and schools and all this stuff. Everything we've ever learned is fake. I'm not going to say that George Washington didn't sell the ocean blue or chop down a cherry tree. I'm not going to say that. Because if it's true, it's true. But true reality and the true history of everything, yeah. Like I said, it's just the true reality has been covered up by this false reality. Okay? And we're being sedated with this false information. And it's blocking. Let me see. Everything has become about money and power, just like Gabriel said in his message. Exactly. Yeah. Everything has become like money and power, you know, because of that. You know, that's what they want. So, in order to keep that going, they find so many ways for them to make money. Like pharmaceutical companies, doctors, schools. Have you seen Henry McCabe's full voicemail has been erased from the internet? Okay. The part that I was always able to hear was they added some extra parts of the voicemail in the beginning because you could hear more. Let me see. I think it's been that way since they figured out the way of government. Period. Yeah, but maybe. But yes, all you could hear was him moaning and groaning in pain. And then all of a sudden you hear this guttural growl on top of that. They have never played anything past that. So it's been erased from the internet, but they still have it. They have the whole tape. And even though they only played the parts that they wanted us to hear, the anchor woman kept talking over it, so you couldn't really focus on it. Because they said, and then a man says, "Stop it," but yet they didn't play it. If she didn't talk over him saying it, they never played it. Maybe it's a pit for someone else subduing him. Well, I wouldn't say him per se because they found his body, first of all. So it's not like he was taken and he never returned. His body was found near a body of water. So if they used his spirit energy as a pet, that's one thing. But I couldn't put it there in that category because, like I said, his body was found. I'm not saying you didn't know that, but let me see. Like he outrun an assailant, but not the pet. Oh, okay, right. Who knows? Like I said, the only thing they ever played was the parts that were in the beginning. But right after that, when they kept talking about, and you hear a man say, "Stop it." Here's where I get weirded out about that. You play the guttural growl, but you don't want to hear a man say, "Stop it." I would think it would be the other way around in reverse. A man saying "stop it" is not going to reveal anything that you don't want us to know. Playing the sound of a guttural growl from a creature that is not known to this earth or this plane, you let us hear that part. So what part of that is so damning? I don't understand that. Hearing a man say "stop it." Maybe they felt like his voice was going to get recognized by somebody, and it may be some top secret agent that worked for the CIA. I don't know. Who knows? Their reason is just garbage. Of course, their reason is always just garbage. About everything. Have you listened to Philip Schneider lectures? I can't say that I have. I've heard of him. I think I've heard some of his stuff. I think maybe he was on Coast to Coast AM maybe one time before. I'm not sure, but I have heard that name. But no, I haven't. I haven't. But yeah, the Henry McCabe case was like basically one of my favorites because they literally played the evidence for you, but you didn't want us to hear a man say "stop it." I mean, what sense does that even make? Why would you not want to hear a man say "stop it"? Like I said, maybe maybe he was a government official, and they say they felt like somebody would have recognized his voice. I don't know. Just like how President Obama was talking on the phone in front of the camera, and they told him to stop. You see, maybe it's a recognizable voice. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe it's a recognizable voice, and they didn't want his voice to get recognized by anybody, even if they didn't know him. Or maybe they may cross that person's path in the future and say, you sound just like the guy on that voicemail that I heard of a guy that ended up dying somewhere near a body of water. And maybe he did something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. They were protecting him. I mean, it is the government, so they protect their own, right? I'm just saying. That could be it. Well, guys, I am enjoying this conversation, this live chat, but it is getting late. Let me see, or that he was supposed to. I don't know. Maybe. I honestly don't know. I mean, the whole video was just crazy, especially when you hear that guttural growl. But it surprises me more people don't question this stuff. Yeah, but like I said, it's all about control. You know, I mean, some people say that, well, I mean, it didn't happen to nobody I know, so I don't really want to get into all that. Some people say that. So that's probably another reason why a lot of people don't really talk about it. They would say, well, it didn't happen to me, or it didn't happen to nobody in my family, so why talk about it? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it's just news. But it's a lot more than that. You got to look at the proverbial straw in the situation. How did it happen? It makes no sense. None of it does. Okay, he goes into this place and he turns up dead without a cause of death on or in the body. Typical case when it comes to missing 411. Okay? No cause of death. Very weird. Let me see, I have one question. Have you been brought before a council yet? No. Why should I have to? What council? You mean the UFO council or what? What council? I'm just trying to understand what council are you speaking of? That's all. But I mean, to answer the question, no, I have not been brought before a council because let me see. Oh, of the others, no. Well, I can tell you this. Not so much a council, but they do speak to me. Okay, and you hear random things like we are arriving, or we are here, or we are coming. They say certain things. So the others speak to me through mental telepathy. Sometimes they come in one after the other, back to back. But they do talk to me like back to back. All of them come. Sometimes they be talking all at the same time. They'll say, "You are the light," or "Follow the light." You are the chosen one, or and they have said, "You will be a guide for them." And it started the day I posted that information on Facebook. That was the day I became a guide. Question from Michael: would that have anything to do with missing time? That's a good question. I know if he was brought before council, it would have complete memory. It just hasn't happened yet. Hmm. I like that, and that might be true. Um, I guess I'll get that information when that moment comes. You know, so because I told you before, I have been abducted. I did have some missing time myself, so he is speaking truth. Yep, that's what I'm here for. And Gabriel is making sure that I speak as much truth as possible so that everyone can wake up and realize that the reality that we are in is not the true reality. That is why he is giving me all these messages. But like I said, they do speak to me. Sometimes back to back, one after the other. Sometimes jumbled up where they speaking at the same time. They say certain things that mean something to someone else that I actually know, like my friend. But they have said that you will be a guide for them. And it started that day when I did what I did for Facebook. So now I am the guide for all of you and anyone else that wants to listen and learn the truth. So it's a great honor to have that title, and that was my goal when I first started this, to search for the truth. Does his mate have a purpose similar to yours. Yes. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah. He said, speak of it. Okay. Okay, here it goes. She is destined to be what we. You see, be careful how you state this. Oh, of course. Of course. I'm only telling you exactly what Gabriel is telling me. She is destined to be what we would look at as Gaia, but an Earth version of Gaia. Therefore, she will be basically doing what she does just on an earthly level. There has to be two different versions. She watches over the earth in a much more spiritual way. Um, yeah, well, you never know. But yeah, she's supposed to be what Gaia is to the earth, but just an earthly plane version of her. Because Gaia looks over the earth in a more spiritual way. You can feel her essence all over. She is everywhere. Now, for my friend, she is basically the physical plane version of Gaia. She is light. So she does have a destiny. And I want to say queen, because basically, Gaia is the queen of the earth, the mother. Okay? It's that title, but she would be like a mother of the earth. But that's, you see, so like the light of the earth or something like that. Yeah, exactly. She is basically the light of the earth. So who is her dark counterpart on earth? Did he mention that? No, he didn't mention that. She does have a mirrored opposite. I am that mirrored opposite. Because I feel what she feels. I can actually see images of her because we are connected. We were meant to find each other. I think they meant in a negative aspect. Yeah, I understood what it meant, but he didn't say anything about that. But as far as a counterpart, I wouldn't call myself a counterpart. I'm more of like I said, a mirrored opposite of her. Okay, like say, let's just say I'm outside barefooted, and it's the middle of summer. There's a nice warm breeze blowing by, and one time she said, "Why are my legs cool?" She was under a blanket, and it was kind of funny because I was literally feeling a breeze blowing across my legs as we were talking, but I never said anything about it. I mean, why would I say, "Oh, I'm feeling the breeze on my legs"? That it don't work like that. But that was the case, so it was kind of funny, But that is part of our connection, and sorry guys, I was trying to find something. Oh, it's over there. I'm sorry. But yeah, as far as a negative counterpart, he has never said anything about that. So I really don't know. I had to put my phone on charger. But yeah, like I said, I can actually sometimes see her sitting down, but I get like dark images. I mean, not dark images, but she'd be like in shadow, and I could just see her hair or something like that, or she'd be in a dark room, But I mean, as far as that goes, I know about that, but no, he's never mentioned that. But yeah, we do have a connection, so I can sometimes, like I said, not challenge her, but I can see her in my mind, or I can see images of the area where she lives in, like her dogs or something like that. But still, she can feel what I feel, and I can feel what she feels. And one time we said something simultaneously over the phone in a random fashion. It just came out of nowhere because Gabriel and Peter were working through us, like channeling. We were basically channeling them. They was telling us this, giving us information to say, and we said it, on point, simultaneously, because Gabriel and Peter are connected as well. So let me see. Do you meditate to speak to or hear from them? At first, yes. When I was meditating, I actually was in contact with Gabriel. Didn't know that was him at first, but he confirmed it later on down the road, because this happened like months before I even started talking to my friend. And he told me some information that I asked about and gave me an answer. I was like, wow. And then later on down the road, he said that he has already seen me in my human form, whatever, And I was like, huh? And then he talked about something that only I would know. Wait, hold on, guys. I can still see you. Sorry, there was a gray standing over there by the wall. He's watching me right now. But anyway, I'll get to that part at a later date. Don't worry about that. But don't worry, I'm not going to just monitor me. But anyway, when that first happened, I was like, I didn't know who it was at first. And then, like I said, he confirmed it. He mentioned something, pointing the camera towards. Oh, you won't be able to see it because it's cloaking itself. I was just able to see through the cloak, But yeah, you would never see it. They would not. If you're not meant to see it, let's say you get Gabriel before you. I mean, you met Gabriel before you met her. Wow, that's amazing. Yep. Well, see, I'll be able to see it. Well, actually, he's gone now because I told him that I could see him, so it's too late. Sorry. But not so much that I met him before she did. He was already around her at the time. I never met my friend, who is his mate. I hadn't met her yet. So she already knew him. He was already connected to her. Why do you think Gabriel chose her initially? Because they are connected. They were supposed to be together. They were separated. She was his mate even back then when they were together. They were separated because he had to leave Earth because they didn't feel a need for their services anymore. So like he said before. Right. Same energy. Um, that's how, like I said, that's how they were separated. So he had to leave because they felt they didn't need their help, and they do not get in the way of free will. So she was made for him. I think that's how he put it. Anyway, yeah, yeah. She was made for him. She was the person that was made. That's what they call it. The ones that are made for them. So she was the one that was made for him. They got separated. So, and then they came together again. So, like I said, they were supposed to be together. Yeah. So, like I said, they was already together before I actually met her. And when I first met him through meditation, like I said, that was my first time meeting him, but they already knew each other at the time when I first met him. She didn't know who I was, and it wasn't confirmed until we was having a conversation, and he was channeling through her and said that I have already seen him before. And at first I couldn't think about what he was talking about, and then he said something else. And I was like, oh, that was you? So I was shocked. I was very shocked. So, yeah. I had a connection with him the whole time. But see, we were supposed to meet. Because, so we met, we talked all the time. But it was because of what is coming. We are a part of that. So, she has a destiny in this, and so do I. I will get into the other parts of that later, because you definitely ain't ready for that one. See, mine was corrupted. Can't never say corrupt, because I thought I was corrupted in a lot of ways, but he told me that I was never corrupted. So you may think you are, but if you are a person that can talk to their guardian, but you don't know it, you have to try. So what I would ask you to do is just say in your mind, I would love to see my guardian angel. What is your name, or whatever. And if you are, let me see, how does the whole channeling thing work? No, my mate was corrupt. Oh, okay, my bad. How do I channel Gabriel? Okay, he told me to just let it happen. Don't fight it. And just sometimes he'll push your consciousness back so that he can come through fully, so that you can understand everything that he is saying. Or sometimes you could be like right next to him, because let me see. Yeah, it's a gift. Like there is two consciousness in one body, basically. See, that's so sad. Yeah, that is sad. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. But yeah, so he said, like I said, sometimes you be like right next to him. You letting him talk while you standing there listening to everything that he's saying. It feels like that too. But the main thing is for you to not fight it and to let him come through and let him take control. You don't lose yourself, but you let him come through with the words he needs for you to speak. And you just relax, let it happen, and it happens. It's happened a lot since then. I could be just doing anything, talking, and they may ask a question, and I'll just say, help me out with this. And then he'll come through, and he will work through me, and I will say what he needs me to say. It's just that simple. A lot of people would think that it's complicated, but it's not. It is just that simple. But it just depends on your connection with your guardian angel. If you have a connection, it's not that hard, okay? You just have to let it happen. That's the best thing I could. That's the best way I could put it. Just let it happen. See, what could I do to initiate a meeting mentally? I mean, she chose it, or do better. The best thing to do is the first thing you got to do though is get it in your head that you don't want to second guess the voice you hear in your head. Because if you say something in your mind and something answers back abruptly, you're going to realize that you're not thinking it. It's just going to be there. And then after that, once you get that in your head, you just say in your mind, if you want to have a conversation with your guardian, that you want to see your guardian angel. You never met your guardian angel before, so you would love to see him or her. And if you can get their name, you'll be good. You see, because I'm in tune with the real world and the spirit plane. Okay, but yes, that's the way to do it. It's just that simple. You just don't deny what you hear in your mind. Once you ask to see your guardian, you don't have to get on your knees and pray. You don't have to talk to God first, because they are there for you. He placed them there for you. So it is only right that you come to your guardian angel first. You ask, say, I would love to meet you. See, it's like a guide. Exactly, it's like a guide. Just say you want to meet your guardian angel, and I would love to know your name. Now, once you hear a voice in your head, it may sound distant, but pay attention. Once you get that question out, just sit quiet, pay attention. And if you hear a voice in the back of your mind, that's your guardian. Okay? And all you got to do is ask your guardian a question, sit and wait, and they'll answer it. Now, if you're ready to meet your guardian, that's good. I'm not sure. I mean, if you're not ready, I don't know. It would depend if you'll be able to see him. Because I saw mine, I'm talking full blown, just like solid. So, I was ready. But like I said, you obviously, but make sure it's a positive energy. Yeah, and you will be able to tell if it's a positive energy. It'll be a feeling you get over you that makes you realize that everything's going to be all right. Because you got to realize that it's an energy as well. Okay, there's a feeling you get inside of you. It's the effect that it has on you. Because most people can feel bad energy. See, you'll always have a positive and not to deal with. You always have positive and not to deal with. Oh yeah, you got to stay positive. But as far as the being able to contact your guardian angel, that's the best way to do it. You want to, like I said, ask to meet him. You want to know his name, and listen to that voice that you hear in your mind. Don't tell yourself that you imagined it, because you didn't. If the voice comes out of nowhere, out of thin air, and you hear it, and you know the words that it's saying, it's him or her. Because you may hear a female voice, you may hear a male voice. That's how you do it. Do you dreamscape everyone? Can't say I do. Not me. I don't even know what that even means as far as the movie that came out. But yeah. With Dennis Quaid. Anyway, but yeah, that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. That's the best way to do it. But first, like I said, when you hear the voice, do not second guess it. Okay? You don't want to do that. because once you deny it, it's still gonna be there. They're always gonna be there because you don't have. Let me see. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try it tonight. Yeah, it's real simple. You know, just gotta be in a quiet place. Do you travel when you sleep? I've always had the ability to lucid dream, as they call it. You know what? I have done that, but I did that mainly in the past. But if I feel like I'm somewhere else, then that's what's happening. You know, I'm actually traveling that way. Because sometimes it just happens like randomly. You know, it don't happen all the time, and I don't fully know how to control it. Let me see. It's the easiest way to travel between dimensions. I would imagine so, you know, but I would have to get my training from Gabriel at that point if I was going to be able to do something like that, you know. But he says to stay away from dimensions because if we were meant to go there, we would. If we had the ability to do that, we would too. Yeah, you definitely have to get training. Yeah, and it's very intense sometimes. They start you off slow, and you work your way up. But it's a slow process. Don't rush it. That's what he always tells me. You know. But like I said, that part is for another video, and I don't know when that's gonna be because like I said, you guys aren't ready for that yet. But I do have something I need to tell you. Just like before, it's not the right moment for me to tell you that. So I will make sure that I do when that moment comes. Okay, so no fret. Okay, but yeah, guys, it's really getting late. It's like 3 o'clock. Okay, well, peace. Good night, brother. I'll hit you up. And most definitely, it was a pleasure meeting you and talking to you. Yeah, no problem. Hey, thank you. Same to you too. And you know it goes for everybody else, guys. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got to go get some sleep because I have to be back to work tomorrow after being off for 5 days for my birthday. So, got to meet the man tomorrow, or today rather. So, I'm gonna end this video the way I always do. I can't do it the right way because I got one hand here and one hand here. So, I just want to say, like how I do it at the end of every video. Thank you guys for coming out. I'm glad you was able to get your questions asked. And like I said, whoever I missed or whatever question I missed before, just hit me up in the comment section and I'll go through it and I'll answer your question. But for now, I'm going to have to bid you aloha, mahalo, and a hui. Peace out, guys.